Hey guys, in the following tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add WPML to your site so that you can make it multilingual. So there are quite a number of users that would like to add 2 or more languages to their website, and this will show you how to create a multilingual website and the process and steps you need to take so that you can then start converting your Flothemes. So the first thing you will need is 3 plugins from WPML. If you haven't got those already, go to WPML.com and you'll be able to buy those plugins. So we have 3 that we want to add to the site, and those will be WPML Multilingual CMS, WPML String Translation, and WPML Translation Management. So you can see the 3 plugins here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add those, just following the same process as always for adding plugins. Just click Add New. And then whenever it loads, you can just press upload. And then you can either drag and drop the files in or select those directly from your computer. So I'm just installing them one by one, just bear with me. So you'll always install the CMS first, activate that, and then you can install the other 2 in any order you like. Let's go to Add New again. We'll go through the quick configuration as well in a moment, so that'll be the next step, and you'll be able to do that as well. The string translation file is great. The reason you need this is there will be certain strings and elements from the site that will be coded, and there's no option to update and edit those. So with the strings translation, you're able then to find the strings that are hard-coded and update those in the different language. And finally, let's add the translation management. And once the 3 plugins are installed, we will just go into the quick setup so that we can get started with using the plugins. So just going to activate the last plugin, and then we're going to configure WPML, choose the language we would like, and then after that I will show you how to convert pages and start updating your content. Okay, so we've got all 3 plugins added. Let's go ahead and let's configure WPML. So just go ahead and click the configure button. And the first option is select the existing language. So if your current site is in English, choose that. If not, choose the language that is your main language, and then just hit next. Then you'll want to choose the languages that you would like to translate to. If it's more than one, you can select that. In our case, I'm just going to select Spanish as an example. Again, choose the language that is relevant for you. Just hit next. We can choose the language switcher for the site. That is the flags and options that will display up on the site. You can choose a number of different options, widgets, menus, one for the footer. It's really up to you. I would suggest using the menu, so I'm just going to click Add a New Menu Switcher. I'm going to choose the main menu, and then you can choose what you would like it to look like, with a flag, without a flag, with the name. I'm going to turn off the name here, and also for the current language I'll turn that off as well. So it's just a little flag, as you can see over here. And again, you can choose the options for that yourself. There are a number of options. It's recommended to look at. It's recommended to look at the documentation from WPML for further options with using the language switcher on your site. I'm just going to go next again, and we will finally add the registration key. So you will have one for your site. You'll register it here and add your key, and then that will then mean everything's working and you'll get your updates. In this case, I'm going to skip this, and I'm just going to get started. So let's go ahead and show you how to convert some pages and update your content. So if we go to pages, you'll now have some new options. And you can see there is now this option for the different language. You'll also see there's an option up here to choose the languages for your site as well. So if you are switching between the 2 for different if you want to start making your translations and update the current translations for one language, it will be present here. For now, we'll stay with our main language, whether that's English or another language. Let's stay there because we'll need to then update the pages. So to do so, you can go to any page. So for example, let me just find my home page. And I'm just going to edit that to give you an example of how this works. And then, of course, you will follow this process for any page throughout the site. So if I go to the home page, again, this will be the same process for any page. We will then be able to first hit duplicate. So you see over here on the right-hand side, there's an option for language, and it says, what's the current language of this page, of course. Then you'll want to hit duplicate. So just tick the box, and then press the duplicate button. And then once that's duplicated, we'll have the option to translate this page. So if you see over here, you see translations, and you click show, you'll see that we have a Spanish duplicate page. Now, for us to go ahead and edit that, we can do two things. You can either go to the Spanish pages up here at the top, and you will see all the pages that have been duplicated and ready for Spanish. The duplicate option here to edit this page. So I prefer using this method, hitting this little pencil to edit the Spanish translation. So again, just hit edit. Same process as here. This is the Spanish version ready. As you can see, it's Spanish, but I'm just going to hit edit. It will go to that specific page. And then all we have to do is go through the different sections on the page and update it with your Spanish translations. So if you're using our newest themes, you will go to layout. And for anything that has text and labels, you will want to update. So for example, the slideshow in this case is it will not be updated. You can just go to, for example, the first section, update all of these sections with the Spanish view. So I'm just going to add some text here so you can see how it works. And again, you can do that for the rest of the elements in here as well, if you want to update those. Apologies, my Spanish is not very good, so I'm just going to use a generic text for now, just so you can see how that will work. So we'll just go ahead and just update this first block. Again, you can do the same with the second, third block. Just make sure to update all of the options for that. Finally, just update the last block again. You can update it, all the options here. Just going to add a 1 to the end, one to the end of this. Destinations 1, etc., etc. So just go ahead and update all the elements for the site and all the blocks on the page. Once you've done that, you can just go ahead and hit update. And now that it is updated, you will be able to view the page and see the Spanish version of the site. So if we go ahead and click view page, you'll see that we have now got the Spanish version. Again, if I bring this down a little bit, you can see here we have language ES on the site. And of course, because we've added it to the menu, we can switch between the languages up here in the navigation menu. So again, you can choose the flag that's relevant for you and switch between the languages. So if I go to Spanish again, you'll see that we now have the Spanish options for this page. So again, here, Spanish version, Spanish, etc., etc. All the Spanish labels and things are updated. Now, of course, if you have something like a slideshow, for example, that also needs updated, there's currently no option to duplicate it so that you can update it. So first things first, we will want to go to the translation management section of WPML. So if you go to WPML Translation Management, and then you go up here to the top, so multilingual content setup. So again, WPML Translation Management, choose the multilingual content setup. That's why we need that multilingual plugin, the content plugin. Then we'll scroll down, just scroll down past all of these items. We get to the custom posts section. And from here, you'll want to click Translate for Slideshows and just scroll down and hit Save. So now let's head over to Slideshows, and then we'll just want to edit the slideshow you're using on any of your pages. And now you can simply hit duplicate. So once it's loaded, hit duplicate, duplicate it. So right now we're still in the English version. As you can see, we have the regular text here on the homepage. And now you'll just want to hit the pencil icon and edit that. And once it is loaded, we will be able to then add the Spanish content. So let's just update these. So just update all the options again. You can do that for each of the individual slides and update those with your Spanish version or the alternative language that you're using. Go ahead and hit update. That will then translate it. And once this is finished loading, if we come to the home page, refresh it, and then we go to the Spanish version of the site, we will then have the updated text for the slideshow. So let's just check the Spanish version. And there you see, we have the Spanish translation for the slideshows. So very simple to do, folks. Go ahead and just make sure to update all of the slideshows for your site. For your blog posts, you can go to any blog post. And in the blog post, it will be the exact same as the page. Just go ahead and click duplicate, hit duplicate, and it will duplicate this post. And it will then create the Spanish version of that. So right now we're still in the English version as you can see here, and to update the post we will just edit this file. So now we're in the Spanish version. Update all the text to the Spanish version of this. You can update the titles, etc. as well. Once you're happy with it, hit update, and it will then be, of course, in Spanish. So I'm just going to update the text copy. Again, you can change all this title, the title here. So just go ahead and hit update. And now we can view the post. And then you'll see we have the Spanish version of this blog post. And again, you can switch back to the English version as well. And you'll have then, of course, the English version of the post. Of course, galleries, again, it's a very similar process. You'll be updating those. In most cases, a lot of users will not have text for that. So again, you need to go to the English version first. As you can see, nothing has been currently translated. You will then want to go to any gallery. And of course, same process, hit duplicate. Then once it's ready, we'll just hit the duplicate button. And of course, translate anything into Spanish as required. So just go ahead and hit duplicate. And then just hit the pencil icon. So go ahead and update any of the sections you need in here, whether that's text, if you have custom layouts, update the blocks for that as well, and make sure that you're happy with all the content in there, and then you will be good to go. So I think that what you'll look out for some of the blog post options, etc., would be this add pagination section. For example, you can go in and update that previous and next. Now that will only be for the custom view. If you're using the regular generic view that is global, we will have to update via the string translation, and that's why we've added it to the site. So again, update, you'll have the Spanish version of the pages. So that's pretty much how you update all of the content. Go into the page, select duplicate, click the pencil to edit it, update the content and blocks, and then update the page, and the Spanish version will be available. Of course, then you can see all the translated versions if you're in the Spanish view in any of the post type areas. So I've translated one gallery, one blog post, and one page. And you'll see if I go to each of those, I have those translations that are now in Spanish. Now, the next thing we will want to do is we will want to regenerate the WPML configuration file. And that will basically crawl the site and check for any strings and options on the site that can then potentially be converted. So go to Flothemes, Generics. Then you'll want to go to the Miscellaneous tab. And you'll see that we have an option now at the bottom, only whenever WPML is added, regenerate WPML configuration file. So I'm going to hit Generate Now and click OK. And we now have all the translation string options available so that we can now use the string translation plugin to find any strings that we could not update on the site that were in English. So that would include things like the pagination for the global layouts, any global settings for layouts and options in any of the Flothemes area here, galleries, post pages, etc. Things like your footer elements, just anything that you can't find an option to translate. Use the string option to then allow you to go ahead and update those options. So for example, in our case, I want to find the footer option for Flothemes. So this copyright, because we can only have one translation via the theme options. So we will have to update the string. So how do we find that? It's very simple. You will want to go to WPML, and then you'll want to go to string translations, and then you will be able to find the various strings for the site. Now it will already have a number of options here. You can see the string names, etc. And then you can translate those. Of course, there could be a large number. So in our case, what we would do is just find the strings that we would like to translate. Just search for it in here, do a quick search, and then whenever you see the relevant string, it's just a matter of translating that specific string. So let me just search for that again. So here we have copyright, Flothemes, and I'm just going to go ahead and translate that. So again, hit translations. Translation is complete, and hit save. So as you can see, hit the translations option, you'll see the different languages here. Spanish, save that. Now if I go refresh this page, I'm in the Spanish version right now. This footer section should then update with the Spanish text. So here you go, Spanish footer. And again, you will do that for any elements. Again, we could do it for this to top section for as well. So let's do it once more just to give you the example. So to top, search for that. Again, hit translations. Just hit translation is complete and save. Again, refresh this page. And then we'll see that this to top option has been now translated to Spanish. So that's it, guys. It's really simple to go ahead and find those options. Now, whenever you have finished doing all the translations and you've found all the strings and elements that you want to change, you'll do one final thing. Let us go to Flothemes. Again, back to the generic section. And then you'll want to turn off the caching option that we have added here. So you'll see there's disable options cache. It's recommended whenever you're translating the strings. Once you're done, you can uncheck this box. So we uncheck this box, and then you'll see that it's enabled, and we'll update that as well. So that means we'll now have the caching options available for the strings, and that means that will load slightly faster on the site. And that's it, folks. Hopefully you're able to then go ahead and start translating your site with the new WPML options inside Flothemes. As always, if you have any questions, you can check out our documentation, leave any comments there, or contact our support team for further assistance. Thanks.